This video is going to give an overview of the 4-2-3-1 formation that we're going to be using this coming season. And so this formation is very well balanced. You can get people forward to support the attack. It's also easy to transition into defense, get numbers back behind the ball. And I'm going to go over the different positions that are involved in this formation. And one thing to keep in mind is what we're going to discuss is generally where players need to be. Maybe 80% of the time, there's always choices that need to be made to maybe depart from the routine. So this isn't going to be a rigid rule, but it is going to be a good idea of where to be most of the time. First, the central defenders. Their primary obligation is to defend all the way from their own goal line up to maybe just beyond halfway, and not necessarily out at the sidelines. They are the central defenders. So there's occasions that they're going to go out wide, but they're primarily going to be patrolling the center of the field. When a situation does arise where a central defender needs to step out wider to deal with an attacker, the other central defender is going to need to shift over more to the middle to cover the space that was vacated by their defensive partner. And so we see an example of that here about how you need to move and react in response to your teammates' movements. Next, the wide defenders or the fullbacks. They're going to be responsible for their respective sides of the fields, all the way from the inline to a little bit further beyond half field. They'll probably get up further more into the attack than the central defenders will. Now, sometimes you're going to need to leave your side. So in this scenario, the left-sided defender has gone far over to their own sideline. The central defender near them has shifted close by, leading the other central defender to shift more into the middle and even past the middle in this picture. So the right-sided defender has got to shift too. If they stay stuck out wide on the right sideline, there's going to be a big gap opened up between them and their closest central defender. So they've got to close that gap, make it more difficult for the opposing team to find spaces through and around our defensive line. Balance is always key, and so when one defender moves forward into the attack, then the other defender needs to recognize it's time for me to sit back and maybe defend against any counterattacks instead of both outside defenders being high up the field at the same time. Next, the central midfielders. In this formation, the two deeper lying midfielders are often referred to as defensive midfielders. But in the way that we're going to play, these central midfielders are going to have a more attacking role. They're going to move from box to box, side to side, trying to control the midfield, dictate the possession and the tempo of the play. And so they're not going to simply be just extra defenders. They're also going to involve themselves in the attack. Even though the starting formation shows them standing side by side, it's actually not a good idea for them to be side by side during most of the game. Instead, staggering their approach so that they're on different horizontal and vertical lines or zones on the field will help cover more area. And so the center midfielders are going to need to communicate and make decisions about which of them is going forward and which of them is hanging back. We're not going to necessarily have one defensive midfielder and one more attack-minded midfielder out of this pair. Instead, we're going to trust the center midfielders to communicate and make those decisions on the fly. And when making those decisions, the center midfielders have to recognize we can't both be attacking at the exact same time. So in this scenario, both center midfielders are up around the 18, leaving a big gap between our midfield and the defense, which could be easily exploited if we turn over possession. So instead, the center midfielders need to be aware of each other and where the other players on the team are positioned, and be smart about when to go forward, when to sit back. Again, balance is going to be key. Next, looking at the left and right attacking midfielders, you could also refer to them as wingers or wide forwards. I'm going to call them attacking midfielders. They have responsibility all over the field. They're probably going to do some of the most running of any of the positions in this formation, all the way back to their 18 to all the way up to the opponent's goal. They're going to be running up and down, trying to stay wide and be an outlet for passes, and then get involved in the attack, whether that's a cross or driving into the box for a shot themselves. And as the attacking midfielders approach the goal, they can come more narrow to be involved in the play. So here the left attacking midfielder has the ball out wide. He's looking to get a cross in. The right midfielder is not going to hug on hug the opposite sideline away from the play. Instead, he's coming in to get involved in the play, looking to get a shot off, whether that's a header or a volley. He's going to move into an attacking position. The final player on the 3 line of the formation is the center attacking midfielder. And his primary job is to make plays happen around him, find open spaces, find opportunities for passes to get behind the defense, play his teammates in to good attacking positions. But of course, he's also going to get into the box himself, take shots from in and around the 18, and be involved in the attack generally. The center attacking midfielder can't simply park themselves in the middle of the field and not move. They're going to need to come left and right, find openings as they're available, and use those positions and that unpredictability to find teammates and find space to get their own shots off. The center attacking midfielder is not a second forward. And so when we've got the ball and we're looking to come forward, I don't need both the forward and the attacking center midfielder on the last line of defense looking for a breakaway, looking to run in for a through ball behind. Instead, that center attacking midfielder should drop into open space to collect possession of the ball and then turn and find some of these other runners, the wide attacking midfielders, the forward, to release them for runs in behind the defense. And the last position on in this formation is the forward. You could call them a striker. I'm going to call them a forward. They need to be in and around the opposing team's goal area, looking to be involved, looking to get on the end of crosses on passes, looking for opportunities to make through runs in order to get a shot off, looking to score at all times and to be dangerous. In the beginning formation, the forward and the center attacking midfielder are kind of on top of each other in a vertical line, but they shouldn't stay like that in the game. Instead, just like the center midfielders, they need to stagger themselves, be on different lines, both horizontally and vertically, so that they can present a more difficult challenge to mark and some more unpredictability. The forward is going to be moving left and right all throughout the game, trying to find openings and make life difficult on their markers. As an example of movement from the center, when we've got the ball maybe deep on a particular side of our defensive third, the forward is going to need to come to that side of the field to be an outlet for a pass. Can't simply be running away the entire time looking for a long ball all the time, but you need to come and make a run towards some open space near your teammate so that they can get a pass off to you. I want to comment generally about all the players' responsibility to react and involve themselves in defense. So we've got here a scenario where we're looking to attack the opposing goal. Our left attacking midfielder's got the ball out wide. He's looking to put the ball into the box. But let's say he's dispossessed. The opposing team gets the ball, clears it down the field, and maybe they've got some men looking to counterattack. What both that left attacking midfielder and all the other midfielders and the forward cannot do is stop, turn around, and stare and hope that the defense bails them out. Instead, they all need to recover to get in positions to help out their teammates. So this shows how the team has all dropped back, kind of close to their starting positions in their lines, back behind the ball. They're not leaving all the defensive work up to the four defenders, but they're recognizing I need to get back. I need to help out, and particularly these midfield positions, it takes a lot of running. And so when the guys are on the field, go all out. We've got subs. We'll use those subs. You got to get back, help out. Don't stand and watch and hope that someone else takes care of the situation. And then finally, I want to talk about some tactical variations. So one of the things that we do when we're working on a formation is we have a sort of a base formation that we're comfortable with, but then that just gives us a foundation for us to build upon, to make changes to, and to present some different challenges to our opponents and find different ways to deal with the defensive organization that we might be up against. So this is sort of the beginning 4-2-3-1 position. From time to time, I will give an instruction to one of the outside defenders to move up the field and become another central midfielder when we are in possession of the ball. And what that's going to do is that's going to free up one of the existing two central midfielders to become another attacking midfielder. So now we've got more players forward, more opportunities to overload the defense and find openings to attack. And you'll see too, when that left-sided defender is stepping up in this scenario, the other defenders are sliding over. So we go from having 4 defenders to now having 3 central defenders in this position to give us some more balance in the back. And then the other common variation is to use one of the outside defenders as a wing back. That is to give him the license to get high up the field as a winger. And in this scenario, the right defender is coming forward, which means the right attacking midfielder can slide inside while he's being overlapped. And we can create some overloads. We can have both the wing back and this right attacking midfielder. They can create some 2-on-1s in order for one of them to get free, to either get a cross off or maybe get a shot in on goal. Well, thank you for taking a look at this formation video and familiarizing yourself with these positions. I'm hoping this will be helpful to us during the season.